All right, hey guys, Sky here for the Mental Metal channel and mentalmetaldetecting.com. And today we're going to do another cool video, but a very basic video on sensitivity impacts of your machine, right? So if you crank up your sensitivity too high, you could have impacts. If you crank it down too low, it could be a different type of impact. So what we're going to do today is take you through the very basics of these settings on your machines. I have several machines we're going to try in the test garden here, but this is, I'm targeting all you guys out there who are new to metal detecting. A lot of you guys who have machines that have been detecting a while, this is nothing new for you. You probably already know this, and so I'm not trying to target that audience. I'm trying to target some new folks out there. This channel is all about helping the new person on the block in metal detecting. So we're going to kind of go over this today. I got just a couple brief slides, and then we'll walk out to my test garden, and we'll kind of take you through each machine and show you where the sweet spot is based on my test garden results. It may differ on yours, but you'll get the idea. We'll crank up the sensitivity on these machines and see what kind of erratic behavior happens, or we'll lower it down, and you will be able to tell. You might not even hear good targets in the ground. But there is balance, and you may lose some depth if you lower it too much. But we'll talk about all that. And Rocky will be out there with us, as you've just seen him walk by and making his presence known. I'm sure he will be annoying us out in the test garden. But that's who Rocky is on this channel, and that's how it's going to be. All right? So let's just kind of jump through here real quick. I just have a couple slides, like I said. I'll just kind of briefly go over. When you got your sensitivity up way too high, a couple things could happen. One, your machine could get very erratic, meaning it may do a lot of weird things, sound like the machine is just going off in every little target, every little swing of the coil. You might hear a lot of chirps and things going on, not really understanding what it is. A lot of times it's because you have the sensitivity too high. So when you have your sensitivity too high, you can also pick up a lot of interference. If you're around homes and things like that, you'll pick up the wireless signals from everybody's internet service, or maybe you got an underground fence or an above ground fence that's chirping in the background. Too much sensitivity will also really impact that ability to hear those kind of things. And let's say, for instance, you're around other detectors. If your sensitivity is way up, you're probably going to hear them. Good example I put here in the slide here is if you're at a paid or seated hunt and you have the same metal detector that everybody else does, and you go turn it on and you wonder why you can't hear anything except noise going on, all kinds of erratic things happening, it's because you're picking up all these other machines. A couple quick fixes to that: you could change the channel or the frequency of your detector to try to change that, or you could lower down your sensitivity to kind of reduce some of that chatter you're hearing from all the other machines. But I've noticed a lot of times in the past when I would go to seated hunts and a lot of people were using AT Pros and things, everybody couldn't detect. It was like they'd turn on their machine and everybody was just flabbergasted by what they were hearing. And so a lot of times if you change your frequency, which isn't in this video, but you can fix that. But also changing your sensitivity can also help reduce some of that interference you're getting from other folks around you. All right. So now what we're going to do is I'm going to go over here to forgot about this slide. And if you don't have enough sensitivity turned on, you're not going to hear good targets in the ground because you're not going to get the detection depth. The more sensitivity you crank up, the obviously the deeper you could probably get, but there is a limit. And the same goes with not enough sensitivity. The lower the sensitivity, you start losing depth at a certain point. And we're going to take these machines, the ones that I'm going to list here in this screen, out to my test garden. And we're going to kind of show you, I got some really basic targets in the ground, about 8 inches, 7, 8 inches. We'll crank up the sensitivity, and we'll let you listen to some of these machines when they get real cranked up. And then we'll start lowering the sensitivity to where you can't hear some of these targets, and just to prove that you lose some depth. All right. So we're going to go over the test garden with our XP Days 2, our Nocta Legend, the Equinox 900, and the Minelab Manticore. Those are some of the nicest and best machines out there you can get. So I got them. We'll test those. I may throw in the Xterra Elite. I do have that machine, but I'm not sure I'll have time for that. But you'll get the idea. You can do the same test in your test garden. All right, so let's get out to the test garden and see what we can do. Stand by.
Alright guys, the first one up I have is the Legend. It's going to be hard to see, but I have it maxed out with the sensitivity. I have it up to 20 or 30. That's the max it'll go. I have a little bit of wind, so you may not hear how erratic it is, but it's got some noise going on. My house doesn't have a lot of EMI around it, so, but it is a little chirpy, so just giving you an idea. What we're going to do is I got this 8-inch silver quarter in the ground right here, and we'll just go over it. You can hear how well it's picking it up. It's really loud. If I can hit it just right. Now let's start lowering down. 29, 28. You should start hearing the sound get a little less quieter. 26, starting to get a little less noisy. And down to 25. Still picking up 8 inches. 24. 23. You notice the sound's getting a little lighter. 22. 21, 20. Let's go down to 18. It's real quiet now. 16. You can still hear it, but it's getting very, very faint. 15. 14. 13, still, you can still hear it, 8 inches. 12, hopefully you can hear it, the wind. 11, almost gone. 11, I can just barely hear it. And 10, it's out. So all the way down to 2 bars of sensitivity, you can still pick up that 8-inch dime. So that just goes to show you, you can use a lot of sensitivity or reduce a lot of sensitivity and still pick up the going with this machine. So let's grab another machine. So just to let you know, here's another example of interference. I stuck my machine next to the Legend because Rocky was running out of the yard and it was causing all kinds of craziness. So that's what I mean, some of that interference, especially the sensitivity whip. All right, so I got the sensitivity cranked up. I noise canceled everything, but so we'll just go over this 8-inch quarter again. Comes in really good. We'll start lowering the sensitivity down. 94, 93, 92, 90, 88, 86, let's go down a couple at a time. 84, 82, 80, still sounds pretty good. 78, starting to get a little quieter now. 76, 74, 72, real quiet. Just a whisper. 70, 68, still here. 68, I can hear it one way at 66. So that's the XP Daze 2. So you can lower that sensitivity down quite a bit and still hear that signal. That's 71, and you're hearing it 8 inches very, very faintly, but you can still hear it. All right, let's grab another machine. All right, now I got the Manticore. Now the Manticore has some crazy sensitivity ability here. Oops, that's not what I want to do here. Go back. The sensitivity on the Manticore goes up to ridiculous, like 35, but you can hear it. It's not even usable at 35. I don't even know why Minelab made it this crazy. You actually have to lower the sensitivity down before you do anything to about Still noisy at 29. All right, it's not too bad at 27. Let's just do this. Let's noise cancel anyway. Okay. So it's not too bad, but normally you would never be able to start at 35 on this machine. No way possible. Let's hear the dime or the quarter. But let's actually raise it up just to see if we can hear it. So I'm at 35 max sensitivity on this machine. So you do hear the target. So let's start lowering it. I'll lower it 2 notches at a time. 33, 32, or 31. I'll just go 30, 28, 26, 24. Now we're getting closer to where I would run the machine sensitivity wise. 22, 20, 18, 16, starting to get a little less noisy here, a little subtle. 14, it's very quiet. And we lose it at 12. But from 14, you can still hear it 8 inches in the ground, and you are literally more than halfway have reduced your sensitivity, but you can still hear a target 8 inches to the ground, especially if you've got headphones on. So you can reduce a lot of this sensitivity nonsense out there or what I'm trying to say is you can reduce sensitivity out there quite a bit without losing a lot of depth. You will lose some depth, but you're still hearing targets about 8 inches in the ground. And, a lot of people out there will tell you, all this jargon out there. Some people will tell you lose a lot of depth if you lower it too much. And, you can get away with a lot of reduction of sensitivity and still hear these targets. So don't fool yourself. Don't let people tell you different. Do your own tests, This is where I typically run it, around 20, 21, 22, even 24. If I can get away with it, I'll run it. But you're seeing here 26. Machine gets a little noisy. 28, 30. 30 is when it starts to get a little chirpy. 32. So you get the idea, but Manticore has some crazy sensitivity settings. I wish we could take advantage of that, but as you can hear, 32, it's pretty noisy. So you got to back this machine down to about 24, 25 to even become usable, in my opinion. But you can crank it all the way down to 14 and still be able to hear the 8-inch dime. It's very, very weak in the ground, but you can hear it with a set of headphones. All right, let's grab the Equinox 900. All right, guys, I got the Equinox 900 here. I have the sensitivity cranked up to 28. I have not done a noise cancel. Let's do that real quick. Oops, I passed it. Just to make sure. All right, we'll go with 4. All right, let's get out of this right here. Go back to this. All right, so we're in Park 1. All right, so I have the sensitivity all the way up to 28. It is a little chirpy, but it's not bad. It's not as bad as the Manticore was. Let's just go over this quarter real quick at 28. Let's see if I have the volume turned up so you can hear it. All right. So, picks up that quarter, no problem at all. 28. Let's drop it down to 26. No problem. 24. 22. So starting at 20, it's starting to get a little quieter. 18, a little bit more quiet. 16. I can barely hear it at 14. If I drop it down to 13, I bet it's gone. Nope, I can still very, very faintly hear it. And you could hear it in your headphones if you had them on. And 12, it's gone. So at 12 to 28, if you go back to 13, is when you start picking up again. So from 13 all the way up to 28, you can hear an 8-inch quarter in the ground. So it just gives you an idea how much sensitivity you can give up and still hear some of these targets. So I just don't want you to be fooled by people telling you, oh, you can't lower your sensitivity that much or you'll lose a lot of depth. You will lose depth, but you won't lose that much depth until you get way down there, you know. So, you know, use your sensitivity wisely. Use it till you're, you know, crank it up as high as you can until your machine starts acting really weird, and then back it down 1 or 2 notches until you get it quiet or quiet enough, and then use it that way. That's how I use it. But anyway, I hope these videos, or this video, is helpful. Just trying to help some of you beginners out there understand the difference between the machines and the sensitivity factors, raising and lowering it, what the impacts are, what do you gain, what do you lose. And I hope it was helpful for you. I'm sorry I couldn't show you more Rocky today. He was not being a good dog. He was running out of the yard, so I had to put him in his kennel. So anyway, that's it for me today. Hope you found use out of this. Please let me know by dropping me a comment in the comment section of the videos, and please like, share, and subscribe to the Mental Metal channel. And don't forget, if you're looking for one of these machines, you can pick them up at Fort Bedford Metal Detectors. They got them all, and they'll get you one as soon as they can. All right, thanks for watching. I'll see you in another mental metal video with all the twins.